Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Welcome to WRMN, your trusted voice in the Fox River Valley for over 75 years. We bring you fact-based news, good faith discussions, and entertainment that brings people together. From national headlines to local stories, WRMN is your home for thoughtful dialogue and community engagement. No matter the time of day, where you're listening from, or who you are always welcome here. Thanks for making us a part of your day. This is the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, America, and good day to our friends around the world. This is a political talk show here on WRMN. That's WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. We are coming off of a overtime Sox game as well. Looks like the Sox take it, but because they played early, make sure you stick around here at 6 o'clock where Big Top Sports, where the ringmaster, Derek Geyer, will take you through that game and some of the other games about Chicagoland and the nation, the world, and the universe. But I'll take care of the political stuff for you. That's our arena over here in a political talk show where we like to take politics for its word, right? For the actual word that people use, the actual letter of the law. We believe in that Jeffersonian democracy or that classical Republican side. It's all about taking us back to the words in which we labeled these parties on, not the parties themselves. So if you do take up a petard of a party, then this probably won't be the show for you. We do kind of beat up on everybody who may not be doing the right thing. So we've only got a little bit of time in this hour here. So what I wanted to do, because I knew the Sox game was wrap it up and that post game was only going to leave me with, I don't know, maybe about 15 minutes or so. I wanted to first off give you guys a little bit of attention to our constitutional series that is going on YouTube right now. Apolitical Talk Show, myself, is putting together a series on the Constitution. The first 2 episodes are out. We'll probably get the third one. You and I will record it together. But that first episode was all about the Articles of the Confederation, or the Confederacy. And what that was there was a time between when we declared independence in 1776 and we had the Constitution in 1887. There's a good 11 years that our country really didn't know what was going on, or how, or why, or what. Yes, we had established our independence, but like anybody who steps out from under their parents' control into the real world and gets their independence, they know for a while you're probably eating ramen and sitting on a I don't know, a camping chair watching a TV in the middle of a room. I've had to do that a few times. We all have, right? You don't start off independent like well-to-do, especially if it was a big fight with the person that was in charge of you before. So the articles weren't fully baked in. They had a lot of what everybody wanted, but not a lot of what everybody needed. It had a federal government in the way that we might look at maybe the EU as kind of like all of the colonies or all of the states kind of had their own thing going on, but it was more like a soft union. And it was George Washington himself was like, who would sign any treaties with us? We're essentially 13 different nations all under one amoebus thing. So they had to put something together. The Continental Congress was doing their best, but through the articles, they were not able to even collect taxes. If they wanted money for the federal side of everything, then they needed to literally knock on the door of the state and go, please, sir, can I have some monies? Like, it wasn't, we demand, you need, you're part of, like, there was none of that responsibility for it. So we went over that episode. I don't need to go over it now. Listen to it. They're all about 20 minutes long. They're a segment here on Apolitical Talk Show, so nothing too crazy. And then the second one we just did as well, and that was on Article 1 of the Constitution itself. Right off the bat, we don't really need to go too much into the preamble. It's like a paragraph or so. I was never forced to memorize it as a kid like some of you have, but essentially it just says that this is the legal document. We hold these to be self-evident, et cetera, et cetera. That's about as far as I go. But the Article 1 is all about the Congress. Now, I will admit, I do wish I had another maybe like 5-10 minutes on that segment, but I am trying to keep these pretty contained, because what I really want to get across with this series is kind of like an educational recap. We've all heard these things before. We've all heard about the Great Compromise. We've all heard about the Continental Congress. We've all heard about the articles of impeachment. We've all heard that it's 6 years for a senator and 2 years for the House of Representatives. We've heard those things, but sometimes it's good to have a refresher, right? Sometimes it's good in the middle of the game to go over, pull the rules out and go, let me make sure that I'm playing it correctly and I understand what's going on. The way I look at it is, if I didn't know that the 3-point shot existed in basketball, just that one rule, that one point, that one clause in there, that when I shoot from this point or this place, I don't want to mix up homonyms. If I shoot from this place, then it's 3 points. And if I shoot from this place, it's 2 points. If I did not know that one rule, I would think every single shot that got 3 points and mine only got 2 wasn't fair. I would turn around and I'd yell at the referees and I'd say, why are they getting 3 points? We got 2 when we just did this. What is going on here? And what would happen? The referee would tell me the rule. And then I would turn around as a person who was misinformed, would then go and, oh, okay, that's right. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's keep playing then. My bad. I'm sorry. Probably shouldn't be a coach anyway, not knowing that rule. And what we're getting here, or what I'm kind of getting at with this point, is there's a lot of, well, that's unconstitutional, and these people can't do that, and this can't over here, and that's against the rules, and this thing, because even if it isn't, or whatever, constitutional, a person in a bad faith argument is going to call that out regardless. It's the whole, I know you are, but what am I? Or the, they're doing it, we'll do it. Or they called me a name, I'm going to call you the same name too. I see you there, Jeff. Thanks for hopping in on YouTube. We are streaming over there if you want to catch it out. But let's see here. What we're trying to get at with this series is we want to make sure that it's a recap. That if the next time that somebody was like, hey, the Congress can't do that, you have a 20-minute thing that is just, let me explain it to you, what they can do and can't. And so that's what my goal is for it. On top of being selfish, because sometimes I need to play a 20-minute thing because I may not have anything prepared, or I might be downtown, or all kinds of different places. It'll be a good fill-in for here, just to be 100% transparent. I hope you have a great afternoon too there, Jeff. So what I wanted to do real quick, just right off the bat, is I'm working on this thing of taking a political party and moving it towards the actual definition of the party. And so we have two parties right now that are the main parties in our system: Republicans and Democrats. And unbeknownst to some people, those are actually forms of government. The same reason that the Federalist and Anti-Federalist parties were for a federal government or against a federal government, you would think the parties that are named after ways of governing would want to have that there. And so I've always been, I've always been intrigued by this idea of dinos and rhinos and like the Democrats in name only, Republicans in name only. And so we've only got about 2 minutes left in this hour here. But when we come back, I want to open up a discussion a little bit about what does it mean if you were a classical Republican? Like if you took the word republic and said, I want to have a republic, and that is why I am forming this political party to make sure that we have a republic. What would those virtues look like? What is the ideal citizen of them? What is this side of people that are in favor of a republic? Because this is what we are. We are a republic, and how it was laid out. There's a lot of Republican values, but in the Republican sense of the classical Republican sense, not in the conservative Republican sense, not in the modern Republican sense. And so what we'll also do is we will also look at the Democratic classical side too. I've also got some things on Machiavelli if you want to go over that, or we've got our Article 2 discussion to go on from there. Either way, it's going to be a great conversation for the next hour. And again, set your alarm for that 6 o'clock hour and listen to Big Top Sports. Derek Geyer is going to be on at 6, talking some sports. We'll see you guys on the other side. You're listening to A Political Talk Show. We'll be right back at 6 after. Stick around for some news.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A tragic stabbing that took the lives of two sisters, 21-year-old Janiyah Jenkins and 10-year-old Iani Jones, may have been captured on Snapchat. Iani allegedly on Snapchat with a friend at the time of the attack. The friend claims to have heard the attack take place. Jeloni Jenkins has been arrested for the stabbing deaths of his two sisters. Naperville children's author Sarah Sparks is making a difference with the release of 2 new books in her Monsters on Mill Street series. In a charitable partnership with Love Smiles, a regional pediatric cancer organization founded by Jenna Smith, Sparks will donate a book to a child undergoing cancer treatment for every copy purchased through June 15. An abandoned mobile home subdivision in Elgin is on track for a major transformation. Midwest Sports Center has received a nod from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission to turn the site at 909 South McLean Boulevard into the Illinois Youth Soccer Association's new headquarters.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I am Tricia Grosser, and this is what was happening in Elgin 100 years ago today. Elgin's need for more hotel accommodations has been clearly demonstrated in the opening of the city's latest hostelry, the Fox. And if present indications are a criterion, it was declared it's not going to be many more years before additions will be necessary at the present hotel or another new structure will be started. This because of the fact that a survey today revealed that all the rooms taken signs are still being used at practically every rooming place in the city. A home for traveling folk might well be the slogan of the Elgin New Fox Hotel, for truly a home it is, particularly in decorations and comfort. The lobby of the hotel, from which one naturally gleans his first and usually his lasting impression, is a place of beauty and charm, not overdone, yet elaborate enough to suit the taste of the average. The new hotel is a $260,000 structure, completely modern and fireproof throughout. It is the result of the efforts of Mr. Conrad Ackerman and Mr. M.E. Rice. The hostelry is a 5-story structure located at Douglas Avenue and Division Street. It contains 118 sleeping rooms, all beautifully and attractively furnished. Floors in the lobby, dining rooms, and stores are of marble, and the furnishings in all the rooms are mahogany and resemble that found in living rooms of large homes.
Elgin 100 years ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 years ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night in the listening area. Currently, it is 71 with overcast skies. This afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 74 and windy conditions with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 55. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or cities.
Youth football season is almost here. Elgin Steelers Youth Football and Cheer is now part of the prestigious Pop Warner League in Chicagoland. We're serving youth athletes of all ages, building character and fostering teamwork. Registration is now open, so don't miss out on the chance to be a part of a winning tradition. Multi-athletic registration discounts are available, and we're looking for dedicated volunteers to join our coaching staff. Shape the future of our youth. Plus, on April 14th, the Elgin Steelers Youth Football and Cheer start spring conditioning. Get all the details and register at elginsteelers.com. That's elginsteelers.com. Go Steelers!
Haven't been to the dentist in a while? Bender Dental Care in Elgin has a new patient welcome offer. Complete exam, regular cleaning, consultation, and x-rays for only $29. Okay, that bears repeating. A complete exam, regular cleaning, consultation, and x-rays for only $29. Bender Dental Care has a verified 5-star Google rating. It doesn't get any better than that. Family dentistry at its best. Bender Dental Care in Elgin.
Hello, America, and good day to our friends around the world. This is a political talk show on WRMN. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I am the host and moderator of A Political Talk Show. You can find A Political Talk Show Monday through Friday, most days from 4 to 6. unless there is a Sox game on at that time. But the guy after me gets hosed even more often than I do, but that's okay. You've got a great show tonight at 6. That is going to be the Big Top Sports with the ringmaster, Derek Geyer. Grant Leader from the Divided Podcast will be on at 6:30 to talk about the NBA Finals matchup. So if you are into sports, if you really like that arena of talk, my goodness, be prepared to be not only informed, but entertained. Sports infotainment. It's all branded that way. Patent pending, etc. Thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. I know you have other political shows and other stations to choose from. Thank you for being here on this one. Whether you're on the 1410 AM dial, whether you are on the WRMN1410.com live stream, or you're on YouTube at WRMN Radio, all the different ways that you can listen and kind of interact with the show. Most of those places have a way to interact back, whether it's a like and subscribe, or maybe it's a bookmark to make sure that you can always get to it. A couple recommendations I have, because I really like listening to the radio. Go to the TuneIn app. You'll find podcasts, you'll find stations, and you can listen to the WRMN stream every time that we've got it on. The Sox don't let me stream us, so sorry about that. If you want to get some of that sweet Sox action, it's got to be from the old stick. Straight from the tap, none of the OTT broadcasting, strictly OTA. So thanks for being here again. We've got a series that's going on about the Constitution, and while I'm doing this, I like putting together series, because what it allows me to do is I give a focus on a thing, but I get to learn so many other little tendrils that go out. Here at A Political Talk Show, we talk about how politics and news and everything doesn't just live in a vacuum. It's a collision of culture and policy and technology and just language even at times. So what I really like about that is politics is kind of the game that we all are forced to play. Now, obviously, economics is even more of a game that we're forced to play. Politics you could ignore for a while before you can't. Economics, monetary system, that one you can only, ignore for about a couple hours, maybe. Good luck. Good luck ignoring the monetary system for longer than an hour before you get hit with a commercial or get hit with a thought that you've got to buy something that's out there. We've been conditioned so much to be able to purchase things that we just can't. Political side, yeah, we can take a couple days off. We can take a week or so. Heck, there are people out there that only vote every 4 years, if they vote at all. So we understand that side of it. But what I really like about doing a series, especially one on the Constitution, is there's a lot of different things that had to come together to get us to the Constitution, including like history of things. Like, they didn't just all of a sudden come up with the idea of the two-chambered Congress or the checks and balances or anything like that. Like, the founding fathers were classically trained, so they knew all about the plebeian type of side to it. Machiavelli, they knew the Magna Carta, they knew all of these different things. I mean, my gosh, Rousseau. But talking about all of those, what I really like about looking at the Constitution is you can go all the way back hundreds of years, if not thousands. And you go into this side of where we've always talked about fairness of being on this planet and treating each other fairly. And what system can a massive group of people live under that we can all feel like we're being treated fairly? And it's hard to achieve, right? It's part of that perfection, right? You can never get to perfection. But we can't let perfection get in the way of excellence. We can be excellent. We can be outstanding. We can be in the high percentile. But perfection, that's a horizon we should always be chasing. And it should stay a horizon. And so, as I'm going through the Constitution, one word keeps coming up over and over and over again as I keep looking into this. And it's a word that in today's modern society doesn't mean the same thing that it used to mean. And I guess it's not just one word, it's two words, but the founding fathers didn't really like the other word. Benjamin Franklin didn't like it so much. Thomas Jefferson also wanted to curb it. And that would be the democracy word, right? We talk about spreading freedom and democracy around the world. That's the charge of our nation's military. But the one word that kept coming up for me as I'm talking about this is classical Republican systems. Classical Republican systems. And if anything looks like a classical Republican right now, that's the Libertarian Party. And even then, they're a mix between Republican and anarchy. They don't believe you should do anything with coercion. And a Republican will argue it's your civic duty to do something, and therefore you're coerced into doing stuff, paying taxes, joining the military, serving on jury duty, etc., etc. Libertarian says, meh, I don't want any part of that. But I still want to live in a system. And what's crazy about that statement right there is meet any libertarian and they really can't agree on them. 2-3 libertarians in a room, you can't get a 100% consensus on everything, which is honestly a great idea for democracy anyway. James Madison and John Adams, I want to pull those two together. Part of the Federalist side, they really wanted that side of it for the Federalists and to have that federal government. So let me talk a little bit about classical Republicans, or at least what a person who fought and pushed for a republic. This isn't like I'm taking it back to the way that the Reagan was, or I'm taking it back to Lincoln's Republicans, or I'm taking it to the actual word. Just like we'll take it to the classical Democrat. Sometimes when I use a word too often, I'm perceived as biased, so I want to make sure I sprinkle in some anti-bias balance in there. But let's talk about the classical Republican and classical Democrat with it. And they mean slightly different things. So this is going to be a little bit of a semantics. And what we'll do is we'll come all the way together at the end of it with what the party was. We talk about the uniparty now. Everybody's like, oh, we got a two-party system, but it's all the same party. Yeah. The Democrat Republicans were a real thing. But let's first look at those two separate sides. For a classical Republican, for a person that believes in a republic and says that I want my republic to operate like this, and I would be pushing my way towards that side. I have no other word than Republican and no other word than Democrat for a person that will go towards those systems. This is not a party discussion. This is a system of government of who you are rooting for. This isn't these are the policies of this particular party. This is the policy of that party. I'm talking about the individual. The individual that wants to be a Jeffersonian Democrat, or the individual that wants to be a Rousseauian Republican. The actual word of Republic and actual word of Democrat. And I'm going to keep saying that throughout this hour because there's going to be more people that come in and out throughout the thing. And I want to make sure that we are not just sitting here beating up on parties. We do enough of that already. So for a person who wants a republic, a classical Republican is a political thinker who believes that liberty means being free from domination or arbitrary power. We have a rule of law and representative law, not from just an arbitrary person that derives power. That's a monarchy or an oligarchy. Now, for a classical Democrat, liberty means the direct participation of citizens making laws. You have the most liberty when you are involved with making laws. That is what a Democrat is. A Republican is someone who believes that liberty is being free from domination and arbitrary power, and a Democrat is a person that liberty means that I have direct power because I have direct participation. Now, right off the bat, we already start to see some of the differences in this. And that Republican side is the I want to not have to worry about somebody oppressing me. That is a very passive way of looking at liberty. I don't have to actively go towards anything to receive that liberty. That liberty should automatically be defaulted to me. Where liberty, as far as a person who believes in the Democratic side and wants to participate in that side, they feel the freest when they have direct participation. If I was a pure Democrat, I would turn around and go, okay, majority said this is it. I feel liberated because I was part of the process making that decision. Sounds like it seems a little bit harder to be one of those people. Because we all feel bad when we lose anything, an election or a vote or a pick where we get to go to eat. And when we move to classic or civic virtue, this is where the classical Republican differs from the modern Republican. Because a civic virtue of a classical Republican is the willingness to act for the common good. And if I was to say that right now or tweet that out, I would be called a giant communist or a socialist or whatever other pejorative word that people don't understand. But a Republican is all about how the laws are equally applied fairly, constantly striving for that side. The rule of law and the institutions are central to protecting that liberty. Because if we don't act for the common good, I'm part of the common good. Hello, hi, it's me. Number 12,580,000,000 whatever thousand person in line. I'm here. Common good. And we're a classical Democrat. All free citizens are politically equal. and should have a direct voice in decision making. It doesn't necessarily move towards that active side, but they should have that political side. And a citizen's role in a classical democracy, or a person who is a classical Democrat, the citizens are the government, and they legislate the government directly. This is where Benjamin Franklin put together the tyranny of the mob. Learned a new word today. Ochlocracy. Let's see if I pronounce that right. I didn't, more than likely.
Ochlocracy.
Ochlocracy. There it is. New word. Talk about oligarchy. An ochlocracy is an oligarchy, but mob rule. And part of our series of the Constitution, you can see in Article 1 that is where we have this two-side. Bicameral was the other new word that I learned the other day. Probably not new. Probably already knew it. Just refreshed like everyone else. Of where we have two representation in our Congress. We have the House of Representatives, and that is a cycle, 2-year cycle, by the way. And the Senate on that 6th side, where they do not have to campaign so much. So we have professional politics already built in to the Senate side, and we have people that are closer to the people in that House of Representatives. Nowhere in there do we get to directly vote for anything. The ideal government form for a Republican is a mixed constitution. A blend of monarchy, which is where the executive comes in, aristocracy, is where the Senate comes in, and then democracy, popular assemblies. And our way that we look at it is we have the executive branch, the legislative, which has a Senate, and has the House. Yes, are they 3 branches of government? Sure, but there are 3 entities that essentially run the place. The 4th entity is the referee. The 3rd branch, but the 4th final and the referee. If you read Article 3, I'm going to have a real hard time squeezing 20 minutes out of it. Because the judicial is essentially the referee. Because as soon as the judicial says something, the executive or the legislative is supposed to act on it. If it's a bad law, the legislative rewrites it. If it's a bad policy, the executive changes. A classical Democrat, the ideal form of government, citizens meet in assemblies and make decisions by majority vote. Now, they may use rank choice to maybe make it a little bit more fair than just an overall majority. But at the end of the day, it's the citizens. There's no executive. There's no legislative. There might be somebody who makes the laws and then the citizens vote on them. But you would have to ask the citizens of that particular country if they would like somebody to do that. And this is where, at the end of the day, republicanism is the foundation of this country, not democracy. But the republicanism that we see today and the democracy that we see today and the libertarianism that we see today are nothing like the classical republicanism that our founding fathers had. The civic virtue of classical republicanism emphasizes self-sacrifice for the public good, often cultivated through institutions and education. The self-sacrifice that our founding fathers had of having to put through the actual education wasn't a big thing at the time. You know, being educated. For the people that were affluent, sure, but the masses, the rest of the people, no. And we hear about that all the time. When a politician or somebody is sworn in, they hear about the sacrifice, the self-sacrifice for the public good. But the problem is we like to look at self-sacrifice as me giving up my time. My family may not see me so much. I may have to work a little bit harder during that time that I've got, or anything else. But for some reason, self-sacrifice never means the wallet. But we'll go on. Classical democracy. If I was a classical Democrat, the civic virtue that we galvanize ourselves around as a classical Democrat emphasizes participation and equality in deliberation as a core to good citizen identity. Democracy is all about civic engagement. It's all about joining in. After that, bye. Do whatever we want to. Call me when the next vote shows up. And so the rule of law is what separates these two sides from everything else. The rule of law is supreme in a republicanism or in a republic. Liberty requires governance by laws, not by individuals or by passions. And a classical democracy also respects the rule of law and are seen as imitating the will of the people so that the people can quickly change them. A republic is supposed to be slow moving, but it's supposed to be way more stable than a democracy. I just figured if you're going to call yourself one or the other, you should probably know what the classical meanings of them are. We'll be right back after this.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Wendy's.
There's still time for Naperville neighborhoods to get involved in this year's National Night Out. Organizers are encouraging residents to register their gatherings with the city by July 7th to ensure visits from police, fire, and city vehicles. The annual event, which promotes community police partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie, is set to create a memorable evening for families and local groups. The Elgin Police Department has achieved a significant milestone, earning Tier 2 accreditation from the Illinois Law Enforcement Accreditation Council. The recognition comes after a rigorous assessment against 181 standards covering administration, operations, personnel, and training. Naperville Police conducted a focused enforcement campaign during the Memorial Day holiday, issuing 17 citations for seatbelt violations under the Click It or Ticket initiative. Officers also recorded 6 speeding citations, 7 distracted driving citations, and 1 for an uninsured motorist.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW AI architects deliver Microsoft services to automate tasks and boost productivity. helping sales reps connect with more customers. Remote teams collaborate seamlessly, and small businesses compete at scale. That's amazing. Make amazing happen. Microsoft and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/modernwork.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night in the listening area. Currently, it is 70 degrees and overcast. Tonight, haze before 10 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies and a low around 55. Looking ahead to Friday, partly sunny with a high near 76. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Welcome back to a political talk show on WRMN. It's 34 past the hour. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. We're going over our founding of our nation. We're getting real close to Independence Day. I've got a great show put together for that one. We are going to talk about Thomas Jefferson for that day as well. What I like to do on that day too, I've done it for a couple of radio stations I've worked for, is I like to read the Declaration of Independence that day as well. There's not a lot of people that have gotten all the way through that. We know what it means, we know what it goes to, we know what the values are of it, but a lot of people just haven't gone from word one to the end. Just to kind of listen to it, right? The biggest thing for me, and I don't want to necessarily beat up on her too much. Life has done that enough. But Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was brought before trial on some of the things that she had said about Nancy Pelosi. And they started reading it back, and some of it was pretty, I don't know, it was pretty incendiary. Some of it was just traitors should be hung and all of this other stuff. And when they read her tweets back to her in that same size of like, traitors shouldn't be over here anymore, we shouldn't capitulate to treasonous people have forgotten their oath, like all of these different things that she had tweeted out. And what really made me mad about it was not the stuff that she said. By all means, yes, we've all made those of us that have made oaths to the Constitution, you'll see in the Constitution that, yeah, treason is not a good thing. We should not, capitulate to treasonous people. That's just the way it is. In fact, the 14th Amendment makes sure that we hopefully don't elect treasonous people. But you get the Supreme Court on that one. But what really made me mad about it was not the things that she said. Was that she turned around and she said, well, I don't recall saying any of that. Yeah, you know what's going on. I said, no. You turn around and say, yes, I said that. And so did Patrick Henry. And so did Thomas Jefferson. And so did Benjamin Franklin. And so did James Madison. All of those people also said those things. And that's an example of a lot of what I have an issue with politics now. Especially now that we see everything. I see when you get irate about a thing. And I see when you let that same thing slide because of a person on your team. Because I get to see everything. If I get to see everything, trust me, if you were to watch my life, you would find hypocrisies within it too. It's only a matter of time. It's just that it is so blatant so many times of let's just have some conviction. If a thing comes out of your mouth, let's believe it. Or have you believe it, at least. And a lot of this comes, for me, from my communication style. Is I need directness. I need to see everything because I can't read in between the lines very well. The inferred request, right? That's a perfect example of a thing that I have trouble with. Because I would rather somebody just ask me directly. Example. Those cookies sure do look good. That is supposed to trigger either a would you like one or go ahead and have one or something like that. That is an inferred request. For me, my communication style and the way that my neurons are put together, I would turn around and go, yeah, they are pretty good cookies. And that's it. Because if you want a cookie, you would say, can I have cookie? Or, I don't know, you are a person. So go in and grab a cookie. And so the communication styles and different things in politics really start to get me when they turn around and they say something hyperbolous, or they'll say something just from the sycophantic type of side. Superfluous. See, I'm trying to get that word out too. Superfluous. Thank you. That type of side. And I get it. People embellish, people exaggerate, people will say they can change things in 24 hours. But it's when you tell me your policies and you tell me your beliefs and you tell me your system of the way that you view the world, and then in the very next sentence, you say the exact opposite. And so that is where my frustration lives. So when I do these shows about words, about semantics, about the meaning of a thing, it is because I am tired of hearing someone destroy a word. And so for me in this side right now, the words that are mostly aggravating to me are Republican and Democrat. Because neither of those parties are anything of what those words mean. They aren't. And I could take it all the way back to the litmus test, the OG, the guy who put it all together himself, Polybius. 2nd century BCE. You want to talk about Republican? Compared to him, we're all rhinos. Because Polybius, when he wrote the histories, he saw the merit of the Roman Constitution. And yeah, we can talk about our Constitution. I've got a great series on it. Check it out. It's on YouTube. And this is the beauty of why I like putting on series like these, because I get to dive a little bit deeper and I get to share these amazing historical nuggets with everybody that help us reshape our view of our world. Because all the way back in 2nd century BCE, the plebeian republican was already part of Greece. And the core features of a plebeian republicanism is the mixed constitution. This is where we pulled the 3 branches of government, or the 3 forms of government that the world had seemed to just go into a cycle of over and over and over again. And we thought, finally, we can put something together. Polybius developed a theory of political cycles where regimes evolved in a predictable sequence. Monarchies, in all of their benevolence, would move to tyranny. Aristocracies would eventually move to an oligarchy. And democracies move to that mob rule, or that new fancy word of the day,
Ochlocracy.
Ochlocracy. Or honestly, democracy unorganized is anarchy. That's where we're all individuals, we all have the same power, but we have no core system of how to do anything. That's anarchy. So the mixed constitution theory, it interrupts the cycle. Back to what the Federalists believe. James Madison, I believe, directly was talking all about how it was mutual ambition that was going to keep everything in check. Right? The reason a monarchy turns to a tyranny and an autocracy turns into an oligarchy, etc., is because of that corruption, because of that wanting of power, unchecked power. What is a checked power? Another person who wants power. There's only so much power to be have within a nation. And if you decide not to share it with anybody, somebody's coming after your power. It's like a game of hungry, hungry hippos. There's only so many of those little white balls bouncing around, and everybody's grabbing for them. And as long as everyone's grabbing for them, then we have that mutual competition. It's when we all decide, hey, let's put one big hungry hippo at the front, support that big giant hippo, and maybe we'll get a couple of the white pearls ourselves. That's way easier than fighting everybody. Hence, we have political parties. And Polybius put together that plebeian republic again, where liberty is maintained through the institutional balance of the rule of law. Law rules, and we put people in place to carry on its maintenance. And the government type of the monarchy, aristocracy, and the democracy gives us that three-tiered machine. Again, yes, we've got three branches of government, but there are really three players and a ref. And so it is a little bit different than maybe the Machiavellian Republican, where Machiavelli embraces the conflict as a source of renewal, where Machiavellian republics almost need a revolution every once in a while to revolutionize or renew it. Rousseauian side of it, the Rousseauian Republican, grounded on the legitimacy of the general will. It's closer to that democracy side. Rousseau believed that we should all be almost mandatorily involved with the government. Where Polybius focused more on institutional engineering. You build the institution of the three players, four players, three branches of government, etc. I don't know how to necessarily count them anymore. And so, just like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, not Patrick Henry so much. That guy really liked the people. I don't think he liked a democracy, but they did not like democracy. Benjamin Franklin says a democracy is two wolves and a lamb deciding what's for lunch. And so just like them, Polybius was skeptical of that pure democracy. Favored that balance and that hierarchy. Okay, Sonar, why are you going all the way back to BCE? Well, that's because even though the founding fathers were skeptical, even though Polybius himself was skeptical of democracy, we use it in our republic. Again, we are a representative republic, a democratic representative republic. We use democracy to elect representatives who then steward, is the best way to put it, our republic. And I understand that we don't have to get into the minutia every time you and I talk politics. We don't have to break it down to that basics. We don't have to turn around and discuss Jeffersonian democratic republicanism. But we have to understand the foundation. And I think what's really getting to me about this is we're forgetting what our founding fathers really believed. We get a lot of this country was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Okay? For some of them, yes, that was their religion. But it's not what the Constitution was put through. Show me where the Ten Commandments are in the Constitution. Show me where we have to respect the Sabbath. I'll show you some places where it tells you that there is no established religion. So if it was founded on an established religion, why didn't they put it in there? Because I'll tell you what they were really founded on, what this country was really put together on. Enlightenment and reason. Humanism. That's it. It was the Age of Enlightenment. And in the Age of Enlightenment with John Locke, again, Rousseau, with the founding fathers, again, John Jay, my goodness, everybody who was part of it. They were part more of the Age of Enlightenment. So if anything, our system was founded on democratic republicanism foundations. And if you don't understand those words completely, then yes, you are going to get lost in the cell, in the propaganda, in the spreading of democracy around the world, in protecting our republic. And every day, I see another thing that a party does that is the exact opposite of what they are named. And this combination of this democratic republic, where Jefferson kind of embodied this side, took classical Republican elements of civic virtue, emphasizing the need for educated, independent, agrarian citizenry committed to the common good, and the classical Democrat elements of equality in political voice, the rule of law and decentralized institutions, right? Law and order, small government. That's republicanism. But so was the support for public education, so that we could have an informed civic society. Virtue to protect us and protect the republic from demagoguery. And that classical Democrat element of distrusted centralization, whether monarch or federal or economic, the Democrat always wants control because they want to put their voice out too. Classical republicanism was the focus on virtue, the rule of law, non-domination, institutional design, and combining that with classical democracy of popular sovereignty, equality majority rule, and direct accountability to the people. Taking those two words, Jefferson believed that liberty and self-government could be preserved only if the people were free, equal in political rights, and civically educated. And if power, both governmental and economic, was kept close to the people, and it would be kept under control. So yes, Jeffersonian democratic republicanism is arguably one of the clearest historical attempts to combine the two into a working political model. And this is what we've put together. So I challenge you, the next time that you're talking to a Democrat and the next time that you're talking to a Republican, you ask that party member, what's a democracy? What's a republic? If you joined up to cheer those things on, surely you know what they are. Thanks for listening to Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. Don't forget that these are podcasted on your favorite podcasting platform. Just look for Apolitical Talk Show. If you have to, you might have to put Dennis Sonar Green on there, or you can go over to WRMN where you can see all of our podcasts over there. Stick around. We've got the great Big Top Sports. Ringmaster Derek Geyer at 6:30 is going to have Grant Leader from the Divided Podcast. Stick around. That comes at 6 after the top of the hour. Here's some news.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans.
Hey, you're all set, buddy. This is it here. You'll see in the log.
To our nation's crises and natural disasters.
This is you here. This is you here.
Nation's seniors, the American Federation
Have a good show.
of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the
Have a
American
good show.
Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 6 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A tragic stabbing that took the lives of two sisters, 21-year-old Janiyah Jenkins and 10-year-old Iani Jones, may have been captured on Snapchat. Iani allegedly on Snapchat with a friend at the time of the attack. The friend claims to have heard the attack take place. Jeloni Jenkins has been arrested for the stabbing deaths of his two sisters. Naperville children's author Sarah Sparks is making a difference with the release of 2 new books in her Monsters on Mill Street series. In a charitable partnership with Love Smiles, a regional pediatric cancer organization founded by Jenna Smith, Sparks will donate a book to a child undergoing cancer treatment for every copy purchased through June 15. An abandoned mobile home subdivision in Elgin is on track for a major transformation. Midwest Sports Center has received a nod from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission to turn the site at 909 South McLean Boulevard into the Illinois Youth Soccer Association's new headquarters.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I am Tricia Grosser, and this is what was happening in Elgin 100 years ago today. Elgin's need for more hotel accommodations has been clearly demonstrated in the opening of the city's latest hostelry, the Fox. And if present indications are a criterion, it was declared it's not going to be many more years before additions will be necessary at the present hotel or another new structure will be started. This because of the fact that a survey today revealed that all the rooms taken signs are still being used at practically every rooming place in the city. A home for traveling folk might well be the slogan of the Elgin New Fox Hotel, for truly a home it is, particularly in decorations and comfort. The lobby of the hotel, from which one naturally gleans his first and usually his lasting impression, is a place of beauty and charm, not overdone, yet elaborate enough to suit the taste of the average. The new hotel is a $260,000 structure, completely modern and fireproof throughout. It is the result of the efforts of Mr. Conrad Ackerman and Mr. M.E. Rice. The hostelry is a 5-story structure located at Douglas Avenue and Division Street. It contains 118 sleeping rooms, all beautifully and attractively furnished. Floors in the lobby, dining rooms, and stores are of marble, and the furnishings in all the rooms are mahogany and resemble that found in living rooms of large homes.
Elgin 100 years ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 years ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night in the listening area. Currently, it is 70 degrees and overcast. Tonight, haze before 10 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies and a low around 55. Looking ahead to Friday, partly sunny with a high near 76. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
They were best friends, inseparable in fact, until the day Miguel died. Every day his friend visited Miguel's grave. Rain, wind, weekends, holidays, every day. Miguel's closest friend, Capitan, his German Shepherd, is a symbol of loyalty to which we can all aspire. Loyalty. Pass it on from passiton.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derek Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports on the radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
Good evening, everyone in downtown Elgin and the Chicagoland area. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports with yours truly, Derek Geyer, on WRMN 1410 AM. Man, it feels like I've been gone a while. And in fact, this is the first time that I'm actually back in the studio on air since last Wednesday. Holy cow. Talk about a lot of stuff that has gone down. We've got NBA Finals today. We've got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals that started yesterday with the Edmonton Oilers coming out on top of the Florida Panthers 4-3 in one overtime. I mean, and then you also have the news of the day. Now, what news of the day could that possibly be? Oh, I'll let you sit in that for a little bit. First, if you want to join the show, please dial us at 847-931-1410 or the text line at 505-926-1410. Want to thank Sonar Dennis Green for, the shout outs throughout his show. A political talk show from 4 to 6. And man, it is just good to be here. It is a glorious Thursday evening, June 5th, 2025. And I'm going to steal a line from the Second City Saint. Is it not great to be alive here on WRMN 1410 AM? River Media Network. Sports! Wow. Man, I cannot tell you how good that feels. You do something, or what I want to do for a living is this. I want to talk on the microphone. I want to cover sports. Man, this is absolutely bonkers that it's been this long since I've actually been in front of a microphone. But hey, without you, there's no me. Without you, there is no WRMN 1410 AM. The talk of the town. What have we got lined up for you today? Well, as Sonar was kind enough to point out, we have Grant Leader from the Divided Podcast. He'll be on at the bottom of the hour, 6:30-ish, probably 6:34. And we will be talking about the NBA Finals. After that, oh my goodness. I mean, we've got a new female league. Females League? Women's League? AUSL? Athletes Unlimited Softball League? Got a new schedule for that. Also got their championship, schedule that will also be being held in Rosemont. That's right. You know the one. You know the stadium. We've got an alien sighting. I'm going to tease that. That is probably going to be at the top of next hour. An alien sighting is coming to town. When is he coming to town? He's coming to town on November 23rd at 12 p.m. I think that's a good enough tease, don't you? Maybe not. I don't know. But before we get any further in this show, man, need to talk about the elephant in this tent, in this big top tent. I'm going to get it kicked off with a little bit of sound.
Come again, it's Kuipers cutting it back. It's Kuipers looking for more. The Chicago Fire are absolutely sending a message here at Entering Coast Stadium. They've opened up a 3-0 lead, a brace for Kuipers.
And that is brought to you courtesy of ChicagoFireFC.com. You may be wondering, why am I playing a Fire FC clip? Well, I'm playing it to announce that the Chicago Fire have announced the transformative, in quote, privately financed $650 million soccer stadium for the 78th, or for the 78. That is the piece of land that was up for bid, up for auction, if you will, that was supposedly going to be the site for a new Chicago White Sox stadium build. And Jerry Reinsdorf. Now let this sink in to you, for you. Privately financed. Privately financed. That means that there is going to be absolutely no public funds that are going to be invested into this plot of land at the 78. I mean, so let's see. This is from, I'm getting my facts here from the website of WTTW Chicago. So they are, so they've already built their practice facility. They are doubling down the commitment to the city of Chicago. And the team owner, Joe Mansueto, that they are here for it. Chicago White Sox were up for it. However, it seems like there was a little tomfoolery in the mix. A little, well, everyone's talking about the Chicago White Sox, the Chicago Bears. I'm just going to slip in there and do it. Now, according to Mansueto, Chicago, I'm adding here, quote, is a world-class city that deserves a world-class football club with a world-class home to match, end quote. He goes on and says, this development will be transformative for both the Chicago Fire FC and the city of Chicago. Soon, we'll have a permanent home that reflects the passion, energy, and pride of the city we love. Not only that, this site, this building site, is proposed to be a 22,000-seat open-air stadium that will provide the 78 a 62-acre site in the South Loop, which is a much-needed anchor for additional residential and commercial development. This is the plot of land that the Chicago White Sox were hoping to get funded for, and the governor, Pritzker, decided to tell him go scratch, because unless you're going to put in a majority of the money, you're not getting it. Which will lead us in to discussions about
the potential sale of the Chicago White Sox. On the other side, you're currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM.
The Moose Lodge 799 in Elgin is a place to connect with family, friends, and your community. Moose Lodge 799 is conveniently located at 925 South McLean Boulevard, and they offer fun family activities, exciting community service projects, and live entertainment on the weekends. At Moose Lodge 799, you'll find a place to relax, make new friends, and be part of something bigger, like supporting the kids of Moose Heart. Doors at Moose Lodge 799 open at 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and at 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Join a welcoming group of members who share a passion for good times and giving back. Call 847-741-0799. That's 847-741-0799 for more information, or stop by and see what they are all about. Moose Lodge 799 in Elgin, where family, friends, and community are always invited to join.
Fitting in shouldn't be hard, whether in life, on the court, or in the classroom. At Elgin Community College, you could find your place alongside those expanding their horizons, exploring rewarding careers, and achieving their dreams. A place for doers, thinkers, and believers. At ECC, we see you, we believe in you, and you'll fit right in. Learn more at elgin.edu/belong.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Chef of Love, Chef Jannard, TV host and restaurateur. My grandparents harvested their land to sell food and share this overflowing bounty with our community. Grandma said, for every yam we pick, we give one away. In the world they cultivated, I love preparing and eating dinner with my family on Sundays. When our resources changed, food assistance programs sustained us. They gave me fuel to start my first culinary business at 16 years old, and inspiration to donate the extra food in my community. Through my life, I've developed an appetite to work with others to ensure everyone has access to the nutritious food we need to thrive. Together, we can help end hunger. Come on, join the movement with Feeding America by volunteering, donating, and advocating. Learn more at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into Big Top Sports with yours truly, Derek Geyer. You're currently listening to 1410 AM WRMN River Media Network Sports. Yeah, baby. Oh, it feels so good to be back in the pilot seat. So, I'll put this up on screen for y'all. If you are currently watching on youtube.com/@WRMN Radio, you can see the development that I was previously talking about for the Chicago Fire FC. Why is this important? Well, as you could see the article that I'm going on, blockclubchicago.org. As previously stated, it's a $650 million build, 22,000-seat soccer stadium that will anchor the 78. Ooh. And Mansudo, founder of the Chicago-based financial services firm Morningstar, that they will be breaking ground at the end of this year and open the Fire's 2028 season there at the new stadium. Man, at least there is some team in Chicago that actually wants to break ground on a stadium, Bears. Yeah. So, hey, please follow that, Chicago Bears. Now, in another interesting development, that was earlier this week. What happened earlier today? And speaking of the Chicago White Sox, the Chicago White Sox pulled out an extra innings game against the Detroit Tigers, splitting the series against the Detroit Tigers. Suck! Sorry, old habits die hard. You know, anything with Detroit, St. Louis, Green Bay, they all suck. Just, gotta say it. I wouldn't be me, and this wouldn't be Big Top Sports if I did not say it. However, the one leads in to the other. So the sale of the 78, I firmly, wholeheartedly believe that this is the reason why, if you haven't already heard, Jerry Reinsdorf is seeking the Chicago White Sox today have announced that Jerry Reinsdorf and Justin Ishbia have reached a long-term investment agreement that establishes a framework for Ishbia to obtain a future controlling interest in the Chicago White Sox. Let that sink in for a second. It means that the Chicago White Sox, and I'm going to say this, is potentially up for sale. And the reason why I say potentially is because there's no guarantee that Jerry Reinsdorf will be selling his majority control of the Chicago White Sox to Justin Ishbia. However, as part of the agreement, Ishbia will make capital infusions into the White Sox as a limited partner in 2025 and 2026 that will be used to pay down existing debt and support ongoing team operations. What debt is this? It's the renovation and the build of what is now called the Rate down on the south side. The agreement also provides that from 2029 to 2023, so keep that in mind, 2029, which is 4 years from now, well, technically 3.5 years from now, to 2033, Reinsdorf will have the option to sell the controlling interest to Ishbia. Very convoluted. After the 2034 season, Ishbia will have the option to acquire the controlling interest. Let's see, that's 8.5 years from now. Oh boy. Hey son, hey daughter. I wish I could take credit for this, but I actually heard this on one, I think it was the 4-letter network, or maybe it was the Score. But it's kind of like, hey, here's your present, but you're not going to be able to open it up for another 9 years. If ever at all. So after the 2034 season, Ishbia will have the option to acquire the controlling interest. In event of any such future transaction, all limited partners of the Chicago White Sox would have the opportunity to sell to Ishbia at that time. Hoo-wee. And here's the awesome part of it. There is no assurance that any such future transaction will occur, and no event will such transaction take place before 2029. So again, 3.5 years from now, from potentially selling the Chicago White Sox. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably should have looked this up, Jerry Reinsdorf is 82 years old. Jerry Reinsdorf, and I did look this up, is a billionaire to the sum of $2.2 billion, looking to purchase the 78. No. Let me rephrase that. Not looking to purchase the 78. I mean, there was some money to it. However, he wanted funds to be allocated to build a new stadium, to buy the land, to bring up the development, to do, X, Y, Z, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, boy. And considering the fact that he, man, I really need to look it up, but I'll do so at the top of the hour, because at the bottom of the hour, we've got Grant Leader, G Lead from the Divided Podcast, will be on with us talking about the NBA Finals. But I mean, this is why I honestly and earnestly believe that Jerry Reinsdorf is setting up the Chicago White Sox to be sold to the Ishbia family. And why I say the Ishbia family, I say it because not only is his brother Matt Ishbia, but also his father, Jeff Ishbia, will also be significant investors in the sale and the ownership of the Chicago White Sox. And not only that, but Matt Ishbia is also the owner of the Phoenix Suns, the NBA franchise out in Arizona. So, and then also, Justin is a minority owner of the Phoenix Suns out there in Arizona as well. So they do have the pedigree of owning a franchise. Granted, they just bought it back in 21, 22, somewhere around there. But, that remains to be seen. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. Up next, Grant Leader, NBA Finals.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Wendy's.
An abandoned mobile home subdivision in Elgin is on track for a major transformation. Midwest Sports Center has received a nod from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission to turn the site at 909 South McLean Boulevard into the Illinois Youth Soccer Association's new headquarters. A tragic stabbing that took the lives of two sisters, 21-year-old Janiah Jenkins and 10-year-old Iani Jones, may have been captured on Snapchat. Iani allegedly on Snapchat with a friend at the time of the attack. The friend claims to have heard the attack take place. Jeloni Jenkins has been arrested for the stabbing deaths of his two sisters. Naperville children's author Sarah Sparks is making a difference with the release of 2 new books in her Monsters on Mill Street series. In a charitable partnership with Love Smiles, a regional pediatric cancer organization founded by Jenna Smith, Sparks will donate a book to a child undergoing cancer treatment for every copy purchased through June 15th.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW AI architects deliver Microsoft services to automate tasks and boost productivity, helping sales reps connect with more customers. Remote teams collaborate seamlessly, and small businesses compete at scale. That's amazing. Make amazing happen. Microsoft and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/modernwork.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night in the listening area. Currently, it is 70 degrees and overcast. Tonight, haze before 10 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies and a low around 55. Looking ahead to tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 76. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score.
All right, I'm going to cut that a little bit short because joining us in studio on the phones, it is Grant Leader. Grant, thank you for joining me on Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to talking to you about it.
Absolutely. So, let's see. Reason why you're on is going to, because you are, you're an OKC fan. You've been following the NBA Finals. You've been talking about the OKC Thunder with your co-host, Tony Tilo Lopez, on the Divided podcast. So what do you want to start with that? You want to talk about, anything else prevalent in the Chicago landscape?
Hey, I was listening to you, and you were talking about the deal on the 78 and what the Ishiba brothers are doing. And I was going to add, I think it's, I think what the Fire did was pretty dang like salt on the wound type thing to a lot of White Sox fans, and I thought it was perfect how they did their little promotional video about it, where their mascot went out on there, grabbed a lawn chair with some newspaper, and said, "We called dibs on that." I thought that was perfect. It's not necessarily like a big jab towards the White Sox because it was only rumors about them taking that land.
Right.
But also it was like, you have to live under a rock if you don't know if the White Sox are trying to get that land. But I think it was really funny that the Fire of all teams, not the Bulls, not the Cubs, not the Blackhawks,
not the Bears,
of all teams, not the Bears, because they bought, they use that $300 million to buy their so-called stadium in Arlington.
Yeah.
But it was the Fire of all teams that went east and said, hey, not only will we give you the money for that piece of land, we won't ask any taxpayer dollars for that land. We won't go to JB and ask him for any public funding money. We'll pay for the entire $650 million ourselves to buy that land and build a stadium there. And they gave it to them, which I thought was pretty funny because Jerry has been, if you live under rocks, you don't know, Jerry's been asking for public funding money from JB, public funding money from anywhere from Chicago to build a stadium there, to get out of where they're at right now on the south side and move to that 78 spot. So I thought it was kind of funny how the Fire come under. They're going to privately fund the entire thing without public funded money and build a stadium there.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because the White Sox, I got to look this up. I'll do it, at the top of the hour. But, the Chicago White Sox still owe money on the renovations at the rate currently. So it's you owe money over here. You're going to ask for more. And, everyone is telling you no. The fans, the Chicago White Sox fans, the citizens of Chicago, the state of Illinois, everyone's basically telling you to go scratch, which is why I honestly believe that this is why, Jerry's deciding to sell the team, with.
And I know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I know Jerry's doing the same game plan he had in the 90s when he was trying to get out Comiskey and get a new stadium. He threatened to move to Tampa Bay, and they finally forced their hand and said, okay, here you go. Here's your money to build a new stadium. And I wasn't around for that. I know the stadium was built before I was born, but what I remember from being told is that it was built so fast. The architect on site did not realize where he was building at because he built the home plate direction.
Yeah.
So home plate's facing towards going south on 90-94 instead of headed, the opposite way you can see the skyline at the interchange from the Dan Ryan to the Eisenhower. That's where the home plate should have been. So there was a lot of stuff that went into it. And I know, like, in present day, he's threatened to move to Nashville if he didn't get the money. And now the piece of land where he wanted to build, now bought.
Right. And, I mean, that was one of the big kerfuffles of how guaranteed rate or the sell or Comiskey or now the rate, came to be. I mean, it could have been such an awesome build site for the Chicago White Sox. I mean, look, you got parks like PNC, you've got Pittsburgh Pirates, you got parks, out there, Camden Yards, you've got, I mean, so many other places. San Francisco Giants, they built it in McCovey Cove. I mean, you're talking about like absolutely beautiful backdrops of a stadium. So, yeah, totally screwed the pooch on that one. And, yeah, I don't know why anyone, hey, do me a favor. Just turn it 180 degrees and we'll build that way. That's it.
I don't understand. And I don't understand why, because they built that they had that plot of land right, like, it's legit, like right next door to where old Comiskey was.
Right.
They had the room to maneuver however they wanted to do it. And yet the architect messed it up, and he built home plate where you don't need it to be.
Well, not only that, but I mean, someone
being in the way.
I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say, it's not about like sun being in the way, like where the sun rises or falls and stuff like that for night games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, because if you build it where you face a skyline, you'll be able to the sun in your eyes. I mean, the outfielders will, but like, the batter won't. So. Yeah,
pretty much. But, I mean, okay, enough of ragging on the Chicago White Sox. I mean, they are a partner here at WRMN 1410 AM. I don't want to get in too much trouble, by talking about this, but I mean, it kind of makes sense that Fire come in, buy the land. They're going to have shovels in the ground by the end of this year, hopefully. Bears. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't have any place to go with it. So I'm going to sell the team, theoretically speaking. And I say theoretically speaking because there's no guarantee that they will actually, sell the team to the Ishbia family. But, yeah. So let's see. NBA Finals, Mr. Leader.
All right.
We've got the OKC Thunder facing off against the Indiana Pacers. At first blush, how do you see this series going? I know that you're an OKC homer. However, what are your thoughts on this series?
I think that this series is a lot like what I saw last year. And I know a lot of people aren't talking about it, but I was thinking this the other day, where you have the Celtics of last year. They won 64 games, number one seed in the Eastern Conference, only losing 3 games all year in their playoff run to win the championship, meaning to get to the finals and in the finals as well. Only losing 3 games all playoffs. They were the best of the best, and nobody was stopping them from winning a title. And it looked that way even going into the NBA Finals. And you had this underdog Mavericks team, the 5th seed Mavericks team, who made a couple trades for Gafford and P.J. Washington, who were standing for them in the playoffs to lead them, beating the Thunder, beating the Timberwolves to make it to the NBA Finals. Kind of like that way without the trades for the Pacers, right? It's like this underdog team that everybody's kind of looking at and being like, they made this magical run, beating the Cavs. Mind you, a lot of hurt players like Hunter, Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, who are basically their whole entire offense at that point.
Sure.
Beating the Cavs in 5 games and then taking on the Knicks and beating them in 6 and winning at least, I want to say 3 games. No, they won 2 games in the Garden. But we all know what the Knicks were. They weren't a high-caliber team that could beat some of the top-volume teams like the Celtics, probably even the Cavs, probably not the Thunder, maybe not even Timberwolves. So we knew that the Knicks were going to make a run, but they probably weren't going to beat the high-value teams that were going to go to the conference finals and to the NBA Finals, like the Thunder are. So I think it's a lot of that. It's a lot of here are the Celtics this year, where they won 68 games, where they ran through, minus the Nuggets series, because that was probably the toughest team that they had to play in the playoffs. They had to go through a lot of tough teams in the West, and they made it out.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves in 5, beating the Grizzlies in 4. So it's like a lot of love is given to the Pacers, but you got to understand this Thunder team is probably the best team. When the playoff structure was 16 teams, the Thunder were probably the best team going into the playoffs this year. And I think it's still showing today. And I think you'll see that probably in the NBA Finals as well, where a lot of people like, picking the cute and the underdog story of the Pacers. But it's still the Thunder are the best team in this series, and it probably will show in the series as well.
Yeah, it certainly seemed the way that the Indiana Pacers, here, before I get to that, you're currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM with Grant Leader from the Divided Podcast. Okay, now you could definitely see it in the series, the Pacers going against the New York Knicks. They absolutely ran them off the floor during the fourth quarter. There was the epic, 12-point collapse with, 12 to 15-point collapse in game 1 where Tyrese Halliburton, did the whole choking sign and everything. So regardless of that, but the New York Knicks looked extremely tired come the fourth quarter at the end of every single game.
Right.
So that was probably why Tom Thibodeau got fired this week as coach of the New York Knicks. Now, I'm sorry?
It's just crazy. The Knicks had the best season since 2000, and it's, hey, kids, thanks for our best season since 2000, 25 years ago, here's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
Yeah. Hey, G, Cat Guru. Forgive me if I'm saying the last name wrong, Cat, but she says the Thunder suck. I just wanted I just wanted to relay that info to you. It wouldn't be me, and it wouldn't be the Big Top Sports if I didn't do some Smurf stuff like that. Anyway, come on, man. I'm trying to have fun here.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all fun. I love it.
I mean, but actually, like looking into this series between the Thunder and the Pacers, I mean, considering the fact that the Thunder have 5 playoff wins by at least 25 points and tied for the most in NBA history.
Yep.
I mean, that's a lot of ass kickery.
I don't think it's more or less what they're showing on the offensive side. Because yes, you got 3 guys in SGA, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren who are putting up 25 to 30 points on any given night in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you got a dog.
Yeah.
And you got a dog. You know where I'm going with. So go ahead, take the leash on that one.
You got a dog and 2 guys that have made all defense in J-Dub and Lou Dort, but you also have a dog coming off the bench in Alex Caruso, who is matching up against the big guys. In the Nuggets series, he was matching up against Jokic. In the Timberwolves series, he was matching up against Julius Randle.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever the Thunder are going big, they have their 2 big guys in Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. You're going to have trouble in the front court with them 2 defensively, and the Thunder have the best defense in the NBA. They do a great job of collapsing the floor and making it tough for people like Halliburton, Nembhard, Naismith, whoever it may be, driving to the lane to get buckets. And what the Pacers do pretty well is shooting corner threes, which the Thunder don't do the best job of, because when you watch the Timberwolves series, you saw Dante DiVincenzo, you saw Julius Randle, you saw guys like Anthony Edwards shoot corner threes and make them. But I think that series progresses, they're going to make it tougher for them to make those corner threes, because it's all about adjustments in the NBA.
Yeah.
You'll see from time to time on the graphics on TV, 10-2 run or 14-4 run by X team or whatever.
Yeah, and at times, definitely looked like the OKC Thunder had trouble transitioning to cover the corner 3, or when the Timberwolves were kicking the ball out behind the arc to cover them. Yeah. So there's also that. But so let's see more, a little bit more stats. So the Thunder are 3-2, as opposed to the Pacers being 4-3 when trailing by at least 10 points. So there's that little nifty stat. Then this is the one where it might be a little, I'm kind of interested in. So for the Pacers, they're 7-1 in games that their team is within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. 7-1.
Yeah.
So I mean, talk about being clutch in those final 5 minutes. I mean, we like I said, I alluded to them coming back in game 1 and absolutely mollywhopping the Knicks and taking over in overtime to win that game 1 against the Knicks.
I agree, and it's very clutch. 7-1 when they're down only 5 points with what you said 3 minutes ago.
Yeah,
it's very impressive. I might be a biased take here, but I think that the defenses they were going up against with the Cavaliers and the Knicks aren't what the defense they're going to see in OKC. Because with Halliburton, you're going to be matched up against Lou Dort probably the entire game. That's a first-team all-defensive guy right there. They don't say the Dort chamber for a reason. Like, he locks down your best offensive weapon and makes him work for his points. I will say Halliburton's going to get his points because you look at this team, he is the main option for this team. There's probably nobody else that they're going to go through. Maybe Siakam, that's about it. But I think that defense they're going to see in OKC is going to be probably 5 times better than what they saw with Cleveland and New York, just because of how physical they are, how much they create turnovers in, and how able to turn those turnovers into points. A lot of times when they were against the Grizzlies and Timberwolves, a lot of the times where they stretched that lead out was creating turnovers and scoring off of those turnovers. Now, something also to look at, the fewest amount of points by any team in this playoffs given to the opposing team off turnovers, the Indiana Pacers. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch, is the number one defense going against the number one offense who doesn't get the ball away that much to generate points, but the team that generates the most points off turnovers being OKC. I think that's going to be the biggest X factor in this game and who wins the series with that.
Right. So according to NBA.com, and piggybacking on what you're saying about OKC's defense here, the Thunder have forced 17.7 turnovers per 100%. Per 100 possessions in a game.
Possessions.
Yeah. So that's the highest opponent rate for any playoff team in the last 10 years. Also coupled with 10.6 steals per 100. Also with, they've averaged about 20.8 deflections per game, most for any playoff team in the last 10 years. Oh, yeah, and that dog off the bench, Alex Caruso, he's got 5.2 deflections per 36 minutes, most amongst 119 players who have played at least 100 games in the playoffs this year. So OKC's defense is pretty damn good, to say the least. However, you've also got the Indiana Pacers that are shooting 57.6%, which is the second best mark for a finals team through the conference final in playoff history. So that's pretty damn good there. Oh, yeah. And they're also, because let's make no mistake about it, their three-point game, their game is the three-point game for the most part. They're hitting, where is it? They're hitting 40.1% from beyond the three-point line, which pretty damn good too. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say it's pretty good, and I was going to let you continue with whatever you wanted to lead into after that.
Yeah, and that dude that's having a come out playoff time, in my opinion, because he might have had a playoff, come out party or whatever. Aaron Nesmith. Talk about having a field goal percentage, which is insane, 64.2%. The best mark among 46 players with 100 field goal attempts in the playoffs. So I really think this is going to be a good NBA final. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. One of those guys that you're kind of worrying about and you're kind of, would you say, shaking in your boots a little bit, about? And before you answer that question, I'm sorry, Grant, I hate to do this. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. Please continue, my friend, Mr. G. Lead from the Divided Podcast.
I appreciate it. Well, yes. So one of the biggest things how the Pacers are able to generate their offense is from the three-point line. They're one of the best to do it in these playoffs. And one of the key things that the Thunder have to do well is lock down the perimeter. I mentioned it with they're all defensive team with Lou Dort being first defense and then J-Dub being third defense. They need to lock down the perimeter. I think it's Andrew Nimhart who's dealing with ankle injury, or it's either him or Naismith who are dealing with ankle injuries. But I believe it's Naismith, I want to say. But he's been able to battle through and continue to go playoffs. It's early June. They've been playing basketball since early November. Some of them even played in the Olympics, like SGA and Dort and Tyrese Halliburton. They played in the Olympics this past year in Paris. So they've been playing basketball for at least 10 of these 12 months since the NBA Finals with the Celtics and Mavs stopped.
Yeah.
So there's some tired legs out there. It's going to be a battle. But I will say, because the Thunder got it done in 5 games and the Pacers got it done in 6, there was that little time frame where they got to rest up within the week. I believe the Thunder finished the job against the Timberwolves last Wednesday and were able to rest up for today. So they had about 8 to 7 days to rest up for this. And then the Pacers had about 5 or 6 days to rest up too. There were some issues traveling-wise for the Pacers because there were some tornado warnings down in the OKC area in Oklahoma County. So
Imagine
they had
that.
to reroute their planes.
Yeah.
They had to reroute their planes about, I think, 2 days ago. So that was a little bit of congestion there. But that's part of the game. The distractions of getting through 9 months of basketball where your body is, completely shot. But it's a championship. You got to push through whatever it takes to get it done. This is how they have to get it done. So it's going to be a great battle. It's going to be as physical as you saw, like the Thunder and Nuggets. I don't think the Pacers are as physical a team as the Nuggets are. I think they create their points off of movement and not giving the ball to one player and just body his way down like a Jokic, or a Timberwolves team where they rely on the three-point shot, do or die. And I say that because they put up
very
51
fast.
shots in game one, 51 three-point shots in game one against the Thunder. That completely put them behind the 8 ball from there. They had a good game 4, but at the same time, they were just behind the 8 ball, it seemed like, from the start with the Thunder team. So I think if the Pacers want to get things done, be 1-1 going back to Indianapolis for game 3. If it's 2-0, I have no idea how the Pacers get back into the series, because all the Thunder has to do is win one game like they did in the conference finals against Timberwolves, and then they go back to OKC for game 5. And I don't think you can get the job done game 5 with the title on the line in Loud City. I'm just going to be honest.
No, absolutely. So we got got about 45 seconds left. G, what are your predictions for this series?
I think the series goes game 5 or game 6, depending on what happens in Indianapolis, whether it be 1-1 going to Indy or 2-0 going to Indy. I think the Thunder will win in 5 or 6 games.
All right. How are we feeling about the Cubs so far?
We're feeling real good.
Yeah. They are looking impressive. PCA, as you said, off air, hit another 2-run jack. So that's a good thing for the Chicago Cubs. I appreciate your time hopping on, G. Much appreciated. Maybe talk to you on the other side of this finals, the NBA Finals. You are currently listening to, not On the Rise, that was my other show, Big Top Sports, WRMN, 1410 AM.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Naperville children's author Sarah Sparks is making a difference with the release of 2 new books in her Monsters on Mill Street series. In a charitable partnership with Love Smiles, a regional pediatric cancer organization founded by Jenna Smith, Sparks will donate a book to a child undergoing cancer treatment for every copy purchased through June 15th. An abandoned mobile home subdivision in Elgin is on track for a major transformation. Midwest Sports Center has received a nod from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission to turn the site at 909 South McLean Boulevard into the Illinois Youth Soccer Association's new headquarters. A tragic stabbing that took the lives of 2 sisters, 21-year-old Janiah Jenkins and 10-year-old Iani Jones, may have been captured on Snapchat. Iani allegedly on Snapchat with a friend at the time of the attack. The friend claims to have heard the attack take place. Jeloni Jenkins has been arrested for the stabbing deaths of his 2 sisters.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I am Tricia Grosser, and this is what was happening in Elgin 100 years ago today. Elgin's need for more hotel accommodations has been clearly demonstrated in the opening of the city's latest hostelry, the Fox. And if present indications are a criterion, it was declared it's not going to be many more years before additions will be necessary at the present hotel or another new structure will be started. This because of the fact that a survey today revealed that all the rooms taken signs are still being used at practically every rooming place in the city. A home for traveling folk might well be the slogan of the Elgin New Fox Hotel, for truly a home it is, particularly in decorations and comfort. The lobby of the hotel, from which one naturally gleans his first and usually his lasting impression, is a place of beauty and charm, not overdone, yet elaborate enough to suit the taste of the average. The new hotel is a $260,000 structure, completely modern and fireproof throughout. It is the result of the efforts of Mr. Conrad Ackerman and Mr. M.E. Rice. The hostelry is a 5-story structure located at Douglas Avenue and Division Street. It contains 118 sleeping rooms, all beautifully and attractively furnished. Floors in the lobby, dining rooms, and stores are of marble, and the furnishings in all the rooms are mahogany and resemble that found in living rooms of large homes.
Elgin 100 years ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 years ago at www.elginhistory.com.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night in the listening area. Currently, it is 70 degrees and overcast. Tonight, haze before 10 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies and a low around 55. Looking ahead to tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 76. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Please gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derek Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
Man, I am having absolutely too much fun here. Whew, Big Top Sports, 1410 AM, WRMN, River Media Network, Sports. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I want to thank Mr. Grant Leader from the Divided Podcast for joining me that last half hour or so. I do not believe that OKC will close out the series in 5 or 6 games. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I liked Indiana's hustle. I liked the Pacers' hustle against the New York Knicks. However, there is the detraction that Tom Thibodeau, like I said, who got fired earlier this week, ran his team into the ground, and they were unable to keep pace with the much faster and much more efficient ball control passing team like the Indiana Pacers. Now, with that being said, Grant did bring up a bunch of good points in regards to OKC's defense. I don't think Indiana has faced a defense like OKC in the playoffs yet. So I honestly think that this is going to be a slugfest of a series, and I think this is going to go 7 games. Don't, by any means, I'm looking at you fine folks out there on YouTube land. That's youtube.com/@WRMN.com. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Take 2. It is youtube.com/@WRMN radio. For the few of you that are actually watching, I appreciate it. Kat, Jose, appreciate it. Yeah, don't take my word for it that the Indiana Pacers and OKC are going to go to 7 games. I am by no means an NBA basketball expert. I'm just a meatball-y, peanut chomping, Big Top Sports czar / ringmaster / stupid sports fan. Stupid spelled STOOPID. And if you want to call in, and I do apologize while I was, having the interview with Mr. Leader to the person that was calling in and didn't get through, but you can call in. It's 847-931-1410. Or if you want to do the text thing, it is 505-926-1410. I can't believe this has already gone by so fast. It's just absolutely been a breeze, and I forgot how much I've enjoyed this and how much I truly enjoy doing this. So this has really made my day. Oh, oof. Now, but with that being said, I do believe I had mentioned that there is a new women's professional sports league in town. the AUSL, 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 A. Okay. That would be the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. It's a new professional women's softball league that is launching this year. As a matter of fact, their opening games are going to be played in Rosemont. That's right. June 7th is when this season starts. They will be playing 30 games. 4 teams playing 30 games. The teams consist of the Bandits, the Blaze, the Volts, and the Talons. There are no designated cities for these 4 teams yet. But in 2026, there will be. Now, there is also going to be the AUSL All-Star Cup in Rosemont as well. So, once, and for all of you parents out there that have little girls that are into softball, I highly recommend you taking in a game in Rosemont. There is not a bad seat in the house. You are able to actually, well, a couple years ago, let me rephrase that. A couple years ago, you were able to actually go out onto the field, take pictures with the players, get autographs, and it is a good time. The concession stands are good. Well, I mean, typical concession stand food, nachos, hot dogs, a couple other, items and everything. I'll probably be checking it out and reporting back next week when I am actually on air again here at Big Top Sports, WRMN, 1410 AM. So let's see. Like I said, they're going to be traveling around to 10 different cities this year. The championship series will be taking place in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The leadership role and advisors. Now, this is really top-notch stuff here. You're talking about former softball legends that are leading the way for AUSL, for the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. You're talking legends like Jenny Jenny Finch, who could still bring it, Jessica Mendoza, Kat Osterman, and Natasha Watley are their professional softball advisors. And not to mention, they are also being led by Commissioner Kim Ning, who Commissioner Ning, I hope that I am saying the name correctly. I do not mean to, disparage or anything, but former MLB exec Kim Ning, and I will be talking about her on the other side. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports, WRMN, 1410 AM.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. That's 800-785-1673.
Join your co-hosts Mike Tooman and Paul Burvitt on our weekly radio hour, Chief Guard of the Republic, where we talk about all things national security, defense, personal security, safety, and dealing with law enforcement situations. Call in 847-931-1410. Ask us questions. We will get you answers. Every week, Saturday, noon to 1 on 1410 AM WRMN Elgin. Streaming on WRMN1410.com. Chat with us on WRMN's YouTube live channel.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
That's right. Welcome back to Big Top Sports here on 1410 AM WRMN River Media Network. Sports. Oh, so good to be here in live and in studio. So nice. So enjoyable. Hey, if you want to be a part of the content, if you want to tune in, or call in, I should say, please do so. 847-931-1410. If you want to text in, 505-926-1410. Hey, if you're out there and you want to see what I look like and catch a glimpse of my beautiful face, you could tune in on youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. That is right. Or, as always, use the WRMN app. Download it. Use it on your smartphone. Heck, download it on your laptop, your desktop. You'll thank me for it. Well, I don't know if you'll thank me for it or you'll, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But before we went to break, I was talking about Kim Ning of AUSL. That's right. That is the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. And Kim Ning is the commissioner of said league. Why, oh, why is this like such an important deal for AUSL? I'll tell you, because she got her start. I'm tying it all in here. She got her start with the Chicago White Sox from 1990 to 1996. Now, okay, she is. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. This is all according to Wikipedia, by the way, because, it's a good spot to go to get your information. She was an assistant general manager for the New York Yankees from 1998 to 2001. From 2002 to 2011, she was an assistant general manager at the Los Angeles Dodgers, or with the Los Angeles Dodgers. She was the first ever female general manager of a Major League Baseball franchise in any of the 4 major sports ever, when she took control as the general manager of the Miami Marlins in 2021 all the way to 2023. Not too shabby at all. This is a woman that knows what she's doing. This is an organization that has been on the rise. Oh, on the rise. What better place to check out on a Saturday morning from 8 to 10 with your host, Mike Napolitano, Brandon Combs, and Dalton Cooper. Not only should you check them out, but they are going to have AU correspondent Jenna Rose on during their show on Saturday. Not to mention covering the landscape of the Boomers, the Cougars, the Dogs, NHL hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs, and wherever they decide to take you on that rise. But I mean, this is absolutely awesome because, have you heard of this guy, Brian Cashman? He's the general manager, or probably president or whatever of the New York Yankees. Back then, he was the general manager of the Yankees, and he made Kim Ning the youngest person, assistant general manager in the league at 29 years of age. That was back in 1998. All of the experience, all of everything. This is awesome. This is a women's league. This is run by someone that knows her stuff. Quite honestly, I'm surprised that she is not a general manager in MLB. She was the first woman to actually take her team to the playoffs in MLB with the Marlins. They didn't win the series, but she constructed the team that went to the playoffs. This is exciting. And as of April of this year, a couple months removed, she was named Commissioner of Athletes Unlimited Softball League. So, good stuff for them. And also, good stuff for Major League Baseball. Why am I bringing in Major League Baseball to this? Because in an article by Lindsay Adler, she outlines why Major League Baseball is investing in a new women's softball league, and it is smart business. Why is it smart business, you might ask yourself? Oh, I don't know. There's a competing summer league called the WNBA that has seen ratings rise. Yeah, I know why the ratings have risen. And it was because of one phenom player that has captured the States by storm in Caitlin Clark. However, it's also, they've made this investment because there is the current explosion and popularity in the United States with women's sports. So Major League Baseball is investing into this league. Now, by no means are they making millions of dollars. No. Considering that they're going to be playing, 30 to 40 games, they're making a pretty good wage. Let me rephrase that. In my opinion, they are making a pretty decent wage to play softball and to go around the United States to play softball. Major League Baseball is investing. You've got the games on ESPN. There's another outlet. It's becoming more and more popular because at a certain point, and it's unfortunate, again, in my opinion, that girls aren't involved in baseball at a higher level. They may play, the pony leagues or, bantam, or I don't even know what the leagues are called anymore. But with that being said, there's no outlet for women in baseball. Although there have been a couple that have, performed at the collegiate level. One that I could think of, and I forget her name, but one in the minors as well. But with that being said, when there's no outlet for the girls to continue playing baseball, move on to softball. Makes all the sense in the world. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. We're wrapping this up in a little bit. Another half hour.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. The Elgin Police Department has achieved a significant milestone, earning Tier 2 accreditation from the Illinois Law Enforcement Accreditation Council. The recognition comes after a rigorous assessment against 181 standards covering administration, operations, personnel, and training. Naperville Police conducted a focused enforcement campaign during the Memorial Day holiday, issuing 17 citations for seatbelt violations under the Click It or Ticket initiative. Officers also recorded 6 speeding citations, 7 distracted driving citations, and 1 for an uninsured motorist. There's still time for Naperville neighborhoods to get involved in this year's National Night Out. Organizers are encouraging residents to register their gatherings with the city by July 7th to ensure visits from police, fire, and city vehicles. The annual event, which promotes community police partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie, is set to create a memorable evening for families and local groups.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Will Walker with your Fox Valley forecast. Air Pollution Action Day in effect until midnight Friday night. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 54. Looking ahead to Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 76. A chance of rain showers Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 56. Currently, it is 68 and overcast. With your Fox Valley forecast, I'm Will Walker on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
Welcome in to Big Top Sports. I am Derek Geyer, and you're listening to 1410 AM WRMN River Media Network Sports. Yeah, that's right. So, talking about Kim Ning, talking about AUSL. Speaking of AUSL, on the rise with Mike Napolitano, Brandon Combs, and Dalton Cooper will have none other than in-arena host Jenna Rose coming on to talk about AUSL. 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 They will also be talking about the Kane County Cougars combined no-hitter, the bench clearing incident with the Schaumburg Boomers, and of course, NBA and NHL finals. I'm pretty sure, I've got a sneaky suspicion that they will also be weighing in on the quote-unquote sale of the Chicago White Sox. They might be talking about Cubs too. They might be talking about, the sky. And then following the truth of, following, oh, here it is. The wheels are coming off the clown car of this Big Top Sports, sporting hour. Hoo-wee. And after On the Rise at 10 a.m. Saturday morning, it is The Truth About Chicago Sports with Marcus Mack. Sophia Blackburn. Pretty sure Sophia is going to be on the show. Anyway, they will be talking about Bears minicamp, the early results from the coaching staff, expectations for Caleb Williams in year 2, the Cubs All-Star predictions. No, that was not a question. It was the Cubs All-Star predictions. And then, of course, you got the weekly recap of the Cubs and White Sox. I'm pretty sure that they will be talking about White Sox All-Star predictions as well. All-Star predictions for the Chicago White Sox. Miguel Vargas. I mean, he's been pretty good. I mean, he's the one that's definitely been bashing the ball all over the place. Although his slash line is 243, 321, 425 with a 746, OBPS. 8 home runs, 26 ribbies, and 52 hits. But, then, I mean, I would think the rookie Chase Mydroth would be a clear invitee for the Chicago White Sox, considering the fact that there is one person or one player from each team that is legitimately going to be selected for the All-Star game. And I would be surprised, for the Chicago Cubs, pitchers aren't on the All-Star ballot yet. But I'm sure there's a Shane Smith would be a phenomenal candidate. He continues to be impressive, considering the fact that I believe he was a Rule 5 draft pick at the beginning of the season. So that's a pleasant surprise. Then, I mean, take your positions with the Chicago Cubs as far as being all-star picks. I mean, PCA all-star. I mean, that's got a nice ring to it. I mean, he's already being talked about as a potential MVP candidate. I don't think there's a chance in Hades that he's going to be an MVP with the likes of Shohei, but he's got a chance to be like the top 2 or 3 vote getters in the National League for that. Then you've also got Seiya Suzuki. I mean, he's having a hell of a season as well. Both those guys, I haven't checked the, RBI total and everything, but I know PCA, he hit a 2-run dinger. Thanks for the help on that one. Mr. G Lead, I appreciate it. As we were talking off the air before he was about to come on the show. And yeah, so those are those 2 players and everything. Definitely, I definitely think that there are going to be a few all-stars for the Chicago Cubs. Man, maybe a potential pitcher as well. If not this year, possibly next year for the pitching staff of the Chicago Cubs. They've certainly figured things out. Let's see. Oh, speaking about women in sports. So AUSL operates 4 teams. So I'm gonna put a pin in this. Man, there seem to be conflating sides, or not sides, but reports on like how many games there will be this season. And all the information that I was giving about the AUSL previously was from MSNBC.com. And like I was saying, that was, that's where I got that stuff. But I mean, you're talking before next year, the players for the AUSL are going to be making anywhere between $45,000 to $75,000 for their 24-game season. And ESPN will carry 33 AUSL games this season. Nice. And then also going back, Noah Garden, who is Major League Baseball's Deputy Commissioner of Business and Media, said in a statement to MSNBC that, quote, "We had alignment with Athletes Unlimited in our conversations for more than a year. After the dialogue began, Athletes Unlimited brought Kim Ning on board, which just made the fit even better. We are putting meaningful resources behind this endeavor because a rising tide lifts all boats," end quote. So it's nice that there is opportunities out there. It's awesome. I've been a proponent for women's sports for a very long time. Now, to get a player's perspective on this, and this is in a statement from Watley, Natasha Watley, to be more accurate, quote, "The AUSL not only gives players another platform to showcase their talent at the highest level, but allows many athletes to extend their softball careers past college and professionally," end quote. Watley said it in a statement, quote, It also provides millions of young girls the ability to follow their idols and aspire to be professional athletes one day," end quote. So before this opportunity with the AUSL, Athletes Unlimited Softball League, it was high school softball, playing overseas in a professional league, or potentially playing for the United States of America in, a World Cup type atmosphere and or the Olympics. But, since the Olympics have been, or softball has been taken away in the Olympics, the last Olympic cycle, there's absolutely no outlet. Now there is, once again, for women to play professional softball, which is absolutely awesome. And in other news, in other women's sports, the Chicago Sky has received some bad news from or on Camila Cardozo. And when I say that, it's because she will be playing basketball for her country of Brazil. In a report by Athlon Sports. Now, the tournament and everything is set to be underway from, I believe, like the 29th of June June 28th to July 6th, which basically means which means Cardosa is going to represent her country of Brazil in the FIBA 2025 Women's AmeriCup in Chile. So she's going to miss about 4 games of this guy's season during that stretch. Couple of travel days, couple of games. So she's basically going to be missing the road trip. And that was brought to you by Athlon Sports. So in the very beginning of the show, I talked about a alien coming to visit Chicagoland. I will follow up on that story after we take a short break. You're listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Shop smarter and greener with Remix Market. We specialize in high-quality, gently used furniture, home decor, and unique treasures. Perfect for giving your space a fresh look without hurting your wallet or the planet. As part of the Junkluggers family, we're on a mission to keep items out of landfills by rehoming them to loving homes like yours. Whether you're decorating, downsizing, or hunting for that perfect one-of-a-kind piece, Remix Market is your sustainable shopping destination. Visit us online at remixmarket.com and start shopping sustainably today.
Political party poopers got you down? Shake it off and join me, Dennis Sonar Green, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show, where we cut through the doom and gloom with a focus on America first, constitutional values, and a populist perspective that puts you, the citizen, at the center of the conversation. At WRMN, the talk of the town, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo and bring you the straight talk you need. Whether you're frustrated with the political establishment or looking for a clear, some nonsense analysis, this show has you covered. Tune in. Let's take on the issues together with a fresh, unfiltered approach. Catch us every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN, A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town.
Boom, 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 boom. That's right. You are listening to Big Top Sports on AM 1410 WRMN, River Media Network. Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Got about another 7 or 8 minutes left on this, the 5th of June, 2025. And as I said earlier before I went to break, there will be an alleged, I think I need to say that right there. There will be an alleged alien sighting on November 23rd, 2025 at 12 p.m. And the touchdown point will be at Soldier Field. Let it sink in for a second. Why am I saying on November 23rd, 2025 at 12 p.m.? That is because that is when Pittsburgh Steelers' new quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, will be back in town. The theoretical alien and partial owner in the headspace of Chicago Bears fans will be back in town. I mean, so the 4-time MVP has signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not a bad contract, if you ask me. 20 million smackers. $20 million. $20 million. I mean, dude is going to be 42. He is 42. There, you could see it up on there. 42 years old. 4-time NFL MVP. The league's 7th all-time leading passer. He's coming off of a shaky season with the New York Jets, who incidentally will be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1 of this upcoming 2025-2026 season. So, I mean, there is that. Ayahuasca! Shit! Ayahuasca! Hut, hut! Yeah, anyway. Yeah, well, if you know, you know. It's kind of wild to think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a few quarterbacks over the last couple of years. Not really. But, I mean, considering when Ben Roethlisberger had retired back in 2021, they've had a few quarterbacks. You might have heard a couple of them. Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky. Again, can't really fault those two guys. I mean, you can, but you can't. I mean, given the way that the Chicago Bears were and everything. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, but it is kind of interesting because Justin Fields, he went on and he signed a 2-year deal with the New York Jets for a $40 million deal. So that is going to be week 1's matchup. It kind of poetic, kind of, I don't know. I really couldn't care less. I mean, other than the fact that Aaron Rodgers has definitely been doing the whole Brett Favre thing. That's the only way that you could like really say it. I mean, if he was actually going to complete the loop on the whole Brett Favre trajectory or the career path, it would have been with him signing with the Minnesota Vikings. But they got their rookie quarterback coming into play, after being injured last season and missing that. But I suppose all in all, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see, last year, Rodgers' regular season stats. Let's see, 2024 passing. He had 368 completions off of 584 attempts, which is 63%, for a total of 3,897 yards, 229.2 yards, and 28 touchdowns to 11 interceptions with a QB rating of a 90.5. Damn, I can't believe I'm actually going to say it, but that's not a bad season. It's just all the toxicity in his city that, he caused. And, well, let's be honest, I don't think the Jets ownership is, really right up there either, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, yeah, he's doing what's best for him. Granted, it took him as long as it did to sign with the team because he said that he was having personal family troubles. So there's that. And wrapping up here on Big Top Sports, here on 1410 AM, WRMN, River Media Network Sports. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow morning with the WRMN Morning Show. Susie C. and the L Train, Elliot Serrano. Then, as I was saying before, don't forget, catch the interview with Tim Calderwood at approximately 8:30 tomorrow morning. Tim Calderwood, the voice of the Schaumburg Boomers. And as well, you also have On the Rise, Saturday morning from 8 to 10 with Mike Napolitano, Brandon Combs, Dalton Cooper. They're going to be interviewing Jenna Rose, in-game arena host for Athletes Unlimited. AUSL. Followed by The Truth About Chicago Sports with Marcus Mack, Blake Cowell, and Sophia Blackburn. They're going to be talking about the week in sports. You won't hear from me until next week because I get truncated by the Chicago White Sox, but they did win today. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend. You're listening to Big Top Sports, WRMN, 1410 AM.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 8 o'clock.